I have been excited for How to Train Your Dragon 3 for years now. I didn't think it was going to get made. I'm so happy that it's finally here. And I was worried about it because if the third one is really, really good, then this could be one of my favourite trilogies of all time. Like, quite easily, in fact. It's this or Planet of the Apes, I think, at the moment. But the third one had to be good. I went in nervous. How did I come out? Let's find out in the review.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Starring, amongst others, the voice talents of Jay Baruchel, America Ferrera, F. Murray Abraham, Kate Blanchett, Gerard Butler and Kristen Wiig. Directed by Dean DeBlois, I think is how you say his name, apologies if it's not, off of a screenplay that he wrote. This is my review for How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World, or How to Train Your Dragon 3 as I'm probably going to call it for most of this review, just for ease. The residents of Berk, Toothless, Hiccup, all of his friends, they are all under attack by a force who wants to wipe out all of the dragons. He's the opposite of Hiccup. He's the complete opposite to this guy. He's very, very evil, he's very, very nasty, and the scariest thing is he's very, very powerful. Hiccup realises they all need to leave. They need to flee Berk. Things get a little bit Thor Ragnarok in the messaging behind it, which I kind of liked. But they are off to find the hidden world. A world that they don't know 100% exists. It was passed down from generation to generation. His father told Hiccup about it. So they're off to find it. It's a place where he believes that dragons come from, where dragons live, and where he and all his friends can live peacefully alongside them. That's the driving force in this one. Finding this place, getting away, and surviving. And it's a very simple story. It is. Very, very simple. There's nothing overly complex in this one at all. It just follows a very, very straightforward path, and it's all the better for it because it feels fresh the whole way through. It's incredibly funny. Again, much like the other ones, there are so many moments in this one that really, really made me laugh. And they come out of nowhere as well, a lot of the comedy moments. What I really like, they're just small little things. And a lot of it just comes from paying attention to what's happening on the screen. A lot of the comedy's not obvious. It's just a little look that a dragon will give, particularly Toothless, who's so animated with it. It's an animation, but he's so animated with his style. Like, his eyes just tell you what he's thinking. It's just such brilliant creations, all of these dinosaurs, and they're responsible for some of the film's funniest moments. As are a lot of the side characters. There's not a character in this one who feels forced, who feels like the comedy's overdone. They all just feel naturally part of this world. There's a character in this one who is incredibly annoying, but she is 100% meant to be, and how annoying she is actually factors into the plot in a very, very useful way. That's what I mean about this film surprising me. It doesn't just do things just for cheap jokes or for cheap moments. It feels like everything is thought out. And it's an incredibly emotional story as well. The first two were. I knew that this one was gonna hit me right here, and it did a number of times. Particularly when we get to the conclusion. It's a very silly franchise about dinosaurs and Vikings trying to live together. So how it can have quite this much pathos behind it, how it can be so emotional and so well done, is just a testament to the way it's written and to the vocal performances. Once again, the script is incredible and the performances from everybody involved are great. Perfectly cast for these voices. Jay Baruchel is the perfect Hiccup. I couldn't imagine anybody else in this role at all. He just embodies that character. He seems to have got used to him so well over the years that he's just settled into it really, really well. And I could genuinely just go through the entire cast list and just say they were great, they were great, they were great, because there isn't anybody that wasn't. And again, the film looks gorgeous. It's not up to the standards of, say, like Pixar, but it doesn't need to be, I don't think. I don't want to say the animation's kind of amateurish, but there's little. It's not as polished, I think, is what I'm trying to say. But I wouldn't want it to be because it fits with what How to Train Your Dragon is, which is sort of very scrappy world of these Vikings trying to live with these dragons. The animation style that they've chosen for this one suits it, and I really wouldn't want them to try and clean that up or to polish it up in any way. I just like how it looks. It's the perfect style for these sort of stories. So yeah, as I said in the intro, I love the How to Train Your Dragon films. The first one was a complete surprise. I didn't know what to make of it. I remember seeing the trailer for it and thinking, oh, this Toothless dragon, he seems cute. He is. But I loved it. Loved that first film. The second one surprised me even more. It was darker than I expected it to be. It went to some really dark places, actually, that second film. I'm surprised at the kind of levels that it went to. But it made me have a little bit more respect for the franchise. The fact that it was able to take these sort of chances that lesser stories wouldn't even bother trying. They take the safe route. How to Train Your Dragon doesn't do that. And then comes the third one. The third one had to be great. And this is what I think the best thing that the people behind How to Train Your Dragon could do, is to make this third one a third and final film. That's the key to me. That's what got me the most excited about this one. The fact that this is an end. Like, they know it's an end. They've said it's an end. We're not going to see any future stories after this one. It's a definitive finale to this franchise, and they delivered. They really delivered by giving us a very, very solid third film that does wrap up this story. And don't worry, I'm not going to talk spoilers in this one at all. But just with regards to how this all wraps up, I was completely satisfied with how they did it. I couldn't think of anything I'd like to change, actually, about how this story concludes, how the journey of Hiccup, of Toothless, and of the residents of Berk, how it all wraps up, to me, is just, it's done in the best way they could possibly do it, and it is a definitive ending. There is room, I think a little wiggle room, where if they did want to do a fourth movie, they could, but I'm choosing to trust the screenwriters and the directors and the producers and everything on this one. I'm choosing to trust them that this is the end. Because even though there is that slight wiggle room by the time the credits roll on this one, it doesn't feel like they're going to take advantage of that. It feels like this is it. This is the end of that story, and I wish more franchises would take note. They should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. There should be an end point. You shouldn't drag these things out for all they're worth. So credit to those involved in How to Train Your Dragon for knowing that, for understanding that, and for delivering 3 movies that I think complement each other, work alongside each other brilliantly, further the stories. Oh, I could just keep going on about how much I love these films. If I was to find a fault anywhere, it would be that the villain probably isn't the most developed of villains in the world. I mean, it's a commonplace problem in films, the amount of times I say that in reviews. But this one, I'm kind of alright with it, because I don't think we needed too much more of the villain. I don't think we needed any kind of real overly personal connection between him and the good guys, because he just was serving the purpose of progressing the story, and he did that. And the times that this villain is on screen, he's captivating, because the vocal performance is just having so much fun playing somebody so horrible. And there's no redeeming features to this villain at all. He is just an evil villain. And I guess, as I say, yeah, it would have been nice if there was a little bit more to him, but I do at the same time understand why they didn't, because this story had a lot going on, and it had a lot to wrap up. This had to be primarily Hiccup and Toothless. Other characters get great moments. The love story between Hiccup and Astrid, that gets a lot to do here as well, but this is a story that just had to conclude things as we knew them, and it does so by giving us a love interest for Toothless. And some of my favourite scenes in this film are just watching Toothless fall in love with this new dragon that they call the Light Fury. The mating dance that you see from the trailer is just so well done in this one, and it's just primed for comedy. And not just that, the dramatic moments, they work so well. I mean, I was completely invested, hooked, and rooting for 2 dragons to fall in love. It's not the kind of thing that it should be easy to get on board with, but just the way this is done, yeah, I was fully invested in them. I wanted them to get together and have lots of little dragons as they grew up, and then grandkid dragons and stuff. Like, I want happiness for Toothless, because it's been a long, long time of watching these films. There may only have been 3 of them, but the last one was 2014. This one got delayed so much that I didn't think it was even going to happen. So now I was finally watching it. I just wanted good things for all of these characters. And I just want to talk about the dragons a little bit as well, because there's something I could have said for the first 2 movies, but I didn't review them. Not on here anyway. I did review them elsewhere, I think, but not on the channel. But I love the style choices that they used for these dragons throughout the films. I loved it. Making them almost dog-like in a lot of ways, like playing fetch and things. It's exactly the right way, I think, to handle these dragons. It makes them almost relatable to us. Like, if they remind us of dogs, we're going to get more of an emotional connection to them. And that's exactly how they've chosen to do it, I think. They've chosen to make them behave like animals that humans spend the most time with. And it's a great choice. There's a sequence earlier on with Toothless playing fetch with Hiccup's leg, and it just sums up what I mean by the comedy in this one. When you watch that scene, just pay attention to just Toothless flying past the screen at just the right moments. I'm really going to miss these films. I'm happy that there is only 3 of them. I'm happy they're not going to do any more. But at the same time, I am going to miss venturing into this world, because it's such a fun world to visit. As a quick aside as well, there is a TV show based on How to Train Your Dragon. I believe it's still got Hiccup and Toothless in. I haven't watched it. Is it good? If you have seen them, let me know, because if it's anything like the films, if the quality is even close to as good as the films are, then I want to watch every single episode of it now. There's a lot of TV to watch, but do let me know if that show is worth checking out, and if it is, I will blitz them all very quickly, and may even do a video on the subject as well. I'm going to give How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World a 9 out of 10. And I'm just so happy that they were able to nail this 3rd and final one. I really am. Can't wait to watch them all again. Can't wait to get a 4K box set of all 3 of them and just blitz them all. Love them. Love these films. But what do you think of the How to Train Your Dragon movies? Let me know in the comments below. If you've seen this one, let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of the other two as well. Let's talk about these films. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of them. Look out for more reviews coming soon. You can follow me on Twitter @JoeJulians. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.